Hello, this is Raymond Claremont. I have just eaten 2 pork chops and also realized a contradiction in science, in 2 different ideas in science. Let me just try to remember here. Yes, very simple. There are 2 ideas. One is DNA, and the other is the idea that you shed your cells and they are replaced by new cells, different organs being shed and replaced at different rates, and then all the organs supposedly being completely replaced every 7 years. Now I have a question for you, or rather a conundrum for you. You can view it as a question if you want, or you can view it as a conundrum if you want. So, DNA makes you who you are. It gives you your species, gives you your color of eyes, gives you your length of hair, your type of hair, whether it's curly or straight, color skin, your voice, your brain size, depth, weight, shape, etc. So if DNA is contained in an acid in your cells, and you then proceed to shed all of those cells and they are replaced by new cells, then that would mean you don't have the same DNA. That's what they're claiming, is that you're a whole new person. So if all the cells have been replaced, and that would mean your DNA is completely different now, how on earth would you continue to be the same species and the same type of organism? I mean, by that logic, if your cells are being replaced by the cells of a different object or creature, then that should mean as time goes on, I would turn into an octopus, or a monkey, or a salamander, or an eel. It doesn't make sense. Wherever I'm getting those cells from, that would have to lead to me becoming those cells, not my own cells that I was born with. So that means one of those ideas has to be false. A quote I like, well, it's not really a quote, it sort of is. I can't remember the exact words that were used, so I don't know if it's technically a quote. But I once told, I voiced the idea of ourselves being completely replaced every 7 years to a friend, and he said, "Well, nobody told your liver," or something like that. And he was basically saying uh, that it doesn't make sense for your cells to keep being replaced and for you to keep having new organs all the time by the cells in your organs being exchanged, be leaving your body then being replaced by other ones. If you truly are regenerating your organs and getting whole new organs, then why do you age? I mean, if you wouldn't be deteriorating, you'd be swapping. So why would you degrade if you were being renewed every 7 years? Doesn't make sense. And so the other idea is DNA. Well, I guess if you were to support the idea that that we get a new replacement body every 7 years, uh, does that still would that is that saying DNA? Yeah, that would mean that DNA doesn't mean anything because particles from other things that are not what we are when we're a baby, when our DNA is created and we become a single genotype or gene. I don't know how to say it. When we uh, uh, when we acquire our genes as a baby, and then we supposedly grow out of that body and it's replaced by other molecules, that would mean that we no longer have the same genes. So that would have to mean in this instance that genes don't make us who we are. That our genes don't make us that. That would mean that just the image of who you are, the resemblance to your original self is who you are. The imprinted code that remains embossed onto your physical avatar. It would mean that that makes you who you are, which would basically mean your memories and your thoughts and emotions and knowledge about those memories, etc., is what makes you still the person you were when you were born. But neither of those things make sense, and I think you can tell from my explanation that neither of those things actually make sense. I just want to put that better into perspective. So let me think here if I can. So either A, DNA is bullshit and has nothing to do with what makes you who you are, or B, you don't recycle your cells every 7 years. I could see shedding some cells. I could see certain parts being removed, and I could see certain things being added. Like clearly, we're inflated with water. We're inflated with water, and even more so, a lot of the mass, or not mass, but the volume of our bodies is made up of empty space, and it's quite likely that certain foods or other ingested energy goes into inflating the body, because if you took everything out of your body, you'd probably be like a little fetus, or a little, like you started off as a sperm and an egg, so you'd probably be microscopic, like the size of a little zygote, um, or even single celled. If we broke you down to your very, if we took everything out of you, so there's no water, no meat other than what makes up your own self, because you're born when, like, you're formed with just those two cells, right, a sperm and an egg. So that's the totality of your actual mass, and everything else is just uh, um, energy or matter that you've inserted into yourself from somewhere else. This comes from food and drink and air, carbon dioxide, argon, nitrogen. Probably a lot more nitrogen than you'd think, and a lot of empty space. So yeah, um, I just wanted to say that those two ideas don't make sense for them to both exist. So one of them's wrong, and or both of them. There's no way they can both be right though. So yeah, uh, I have disproved part of science.